Hi, my name is Paul Vassar, Senior Director of Aerohive's Knowledge Services Department. In this video, I will give you a quick introduction to Aerohive's Wi-Fi Planner tool that we offer for free on our website and as part of our product. The main goal of this tool is to estimate how many APs you will need in order to achieve the appropriate Wi-Fi coverage for your building, as well as to help determine where APs should be installed. We'll start by going to the Maps, and we can enter our organization's name. In this example, I will use Aerohive. I will then enter the street address, which is 330 Gibraltar Drive. And that's in Sunnyvale, California. Selecting the country is important because that sets the radio channels and power levels permitted by the country's regulatory domain. In this case, I'm in the United States. And now I will get started. At this time, a hierarchy gets created with a folder for your organization, a subfolder for your city, and then a building is created for your street address. You will be able to add more folders under your organization for all of your locations. On this window, you are given two recommended options. If you do not have a floor plan, but want to create a floor plan by tracing the building perimeter, you can do that. Or if you have floor plans in JPEG or PNG format, you can click Operations and add the floor plan images. In this example, I have a good idea of the office layout, but I do not have a floor plan, so I will draw a perimeter around the building. I will now zoom in so I can see the building better, and I will draw a perimeter around the building. I can start at one edge of the building and work my way around. And double click to stop. Once my building perimeter is drawn, I can create a floor plan. You can see here that the scale of the building is in meters. This office is in the United States, so I will change the floor to be in feet. And update. You can see that the scale of this building is now in feet. Now, for the plan, the more information you provide about your building layout, the more accurate your plan will be. To start, I will change the perimeter wall type to concrete. I can do that by clicking on the wall and then choosing Change Wall Type. This changes the attenuation of the perimeter from 3 dB to 12 dB. A higher dB of attenuation signifies greater signal loss through the material. For example, a cubicle will have about a 1 dB loss, which is very small, whereas an elevator shaft will have about a 30 dB loss, which blocks just about everything. By changing the perimeter to 12 dB, you will see less signal making its way out of the building from the APs. Now, if I were to go ahead and go to Auto Placement and choose Auto Place APs, you will see that the planner only placed 2 APs. This is the case because there are no walls or obstructions in the building, but we know there are. So if you want better accuracy, fill out the plan as best as possible. To get started, I will remove the APs, and then I will add some walls. For the wall types, there are different levels of attenuation. So drywall being 3 dB is very common. If I have some concrete, it'll be 12 dB, elevator shaft 30 dB, and so forth. To get started, I have some offices that are on the sides of my building. I can choose a line tool and then draw a line where the offices are on the side of the building. So I choose the line tool, I click and then drag, and click to end. Next, I also have some conference rooms. They're also drywall. For that, I will use an open shape connector and I'll draw my conference rooms. Again, you click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, end. I can then click on a wall and clone the shape and move it to a new destination for my several conference rooms I have. And in the middle of the building, I have a training room. And I will use a closed shape connector for that. And I click where I want to begin, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click. Then I double click to end. If my walls are not quite lined up, I can click a corner and drag it to be more accurate. And I also have a lobby. And I also have some water closets or restrooms. So I'll put those in there. Now, double click to end. Between the restrooms, I actually have a concrete wall. I'll use a line tool. And I also have a set of cubicles. So I'll draw some cubicle spaces. And I can make these straighter and clone the shape, move it to a new destination, and I also have some cubicles on the other side as well. So this is not 100% accurate, but it's a better representation of my building structure. So now I will go to planned APs. And here I can select the type of AP I want to install. For this example, I'll use my AP121, which are 802.11n 2x2 internal antenna APs. Set the power level by default to 15. Max can be up to 20, so we like to make sure there's a little bit of power budget left over. And I could now add APs individually, one by one, and then drag them to where I need them. Or what I can do is I can remove these APs and go to auto placement. And in auto placement, I can then choose my application. Do I require basic connectivity throughout the building? Do I require high-speed connectivity, voice, or am I using my APs for location tracking? For this example, I really want high-speed connectivity throughout the building, which means that there must be a negative 70 dBm of signal strength throughout the building. I'm going to click Auto Place APs, and here we see the APs are placed. Now, there are places that show there are no coverage. It actually doesn't mean there is no coverage. Right now, this is for the 5 gigahertz band. If I were to make this 2.4, for example, you'll see that I have full coverage. However, in the 5 gigahertz, if I want to adjust it better, I can go back to planned APs and then add a new AP to this picture to fill in some of the gaps. When done, I can go back to my view menu and I can see how the channels are laid out. Each of the different colors shows your different channels being used. You'll notice if I do 2.4, I have 3 channels being used, 1, 6, and 11. And if I go to 5 gigahertz, I have more channels. I'll switch back over to RSSI, which is the signal strength. Now, let's say I have 2 floors in the building. What you can do is you can right-click your floor and say clone. I will call this floor 2 and click create. The planner tool takes into account APs on different floors. So if I go to floor 2 and I now say I want to auto place my APs, it's going to ensure that the channels that it selects and the AP placement do not interfere with the placement of APs on floor 1. So now if I were to take a look, I go back to my view menu and look at the channels, you'll see here that at top I have channel 48, channel 44, channel 40, channel 36 on floor 2. If I go to floor 1, you'll see that my channels are 161, 153, so forth. So we definitely take into account multi-levels of floors. Now, when done, I can actually click on my building, and you can actually get a better idea by scrolling down of how the APs are placed. Finally, I can go to Operation and Export PDF Report. And then I just download the report from Hive Manager. And then I can open the report. In the Aerohive Planning Report, you get nice diagrams, charts, and an inventory you can distribute to management or installers to streamline the AP deployment process. Now I'll close the report. Optionally, you can click on a building and clone the entire building. Let's say, for instance, we have building 328 and it was the same layout. And I click create, it'll actually clone the entire building and the floors as well. All I have to do at this point is add the APs. If you want to move these floors to another Hive Manager, you can actually click on your folder, go to Operation, and I can actually export this folder. This will also allow me to import into another Hive Manager account. Thank you for viewing this demonstration.